Walk into any local gun shop from the Deep South to the Pacific Northwest. You are going to hear the exact same debate echoing across the glass display cases. It is the classic tug of war between raw kinetic energy and surgical shot placement. On one side, you have the seasoned veterans clinging to the heavy-hitting calibers that have been putting meat on the table since the 1980s. On the flip side, the modern ballistics junkies are running ballistic coefficient algorithms and chasing the absolute ceiling of projectile physics. Today, we are stepping right into the middle of that firing line. We are breaking down 5 specific chamberings that are fundamentally rewriting the rulebook on terminal performance. These are the modern solutions delivering catastrophic energy transfer alongside laser-flat flight paths. That translates directly into clean, ethical harvests when the pressure is on. Whether you spend your weekends pulling the handle on a progressive reloading press, or you are gearing up to purchase your very first whitetail rig, you absolutely need to understand the ballistics we are covering today. Let us get out on the range and look at the brass. Number 5. The 338 ARC. Number 5 on the roster is a highly specialized piece of hardware. I like to call it the silent professional. We are talking about the 338 ARC. This chambering was engineered from the ground up for the tactical shooter and hunter who runs a suppressor full-time. The brilliant minds over at Hornady recognized a major gap in the market. They designed this specifically to run flawlessly through the standard AR-15 platform. Listen, the physics of suppressed shooting have frustrated us for decades. To completely eliminate that supersonic crack, you have to keep the projectile velocity below the speed of sound. The trade-off has always been terminal performance. A slow-moving bullet usually behaves like a heavy pebble when it impacts a soft target. It punches a neat little hole and keeps going. The 338 ARC completely shatters that compromise. It takes massive, high BC projectiles, typically hovering right around the 300 grain mark, and it pushes them at a highly controlled 1,050 feet per second. You are throwing an absolute flying anvil just beneath the sonic threshold. If your mission profile includes thermal predator mitigation or clearing out destructive feral hogs in the dead of night, this is the ultimate tool for the job. You get a whisper-quiet mechanical thump through your can, but the energy dump on the target is devastating. Whether you are tuning an adjustable gas block on a modern sporting rifle or running a short-barreled bolt gun, this bridges that impossible gap between absolute stealth and undeniable lethality. Now, because this is the bleeding edge of modern ballistics, the supply chain is still warming up. You will be sourcing premium factory loads directly from Hornady and a handful of boutique manufacturers. Running technology this advanced requires an investment. You should expect to drop anywhere from $65 to $95 for a box of 20 rounds. But if acoustic signature reduction is your top priority, this investment pays massive dividends. Number 4. 7mm Remington Magnum. Moving up to number 4, we are packing our gear and heading above the timberline. This is the Apex Mountain Hunter setup. We are looking at the legendary 7mm Remington Magnum, but deployed in modern ultralight backcountry systems. This specific configuration is tailor-made for the extreme backcountry athlete. The guy who obsessively weighs every piece of gear because he is hiking 10 miles deep into unforgiving public land. If you have ever pursued bugling elk or high-country mule deer across a massive canyon, you know that gravity and fatigue are your worst enemies. You need a rifle system that carries like a rimfire but delivers a catastrophic kinetic event at 500 yards. The 7mm Rem Mag has always boasted incredible sectional density and wind-bucking capabilities. We are launching premium projectiles weighing between 139 and 175 grains, and we are sending them downrange at a blistering 3,000 feet per second. When you pair that ballistic profile with a modern chassis, like the Weatherby Mark V Backcountry 2.0, you are experiencing the absolute pinnacle of aerospace engineering applied to firearms. These cutting-edge platforms utilize advanced carbon fiber stocks, titanium components, and highly aggressive muzzle brakes. That brake is critical. A traditional 6-pound Magnum rifle would absolutely punish your shoulder and knock you completely off your optic. But modern recoil mitigation technology completely tames that violent rearward impulse. Logistically, this is a dream scenario. You can walk into almost any sporting goods store in the country and find premium ammunition. Whether you prefer bonded lead core options or solid monolithic copper from brands like Hornady, Nosler, or Federal, you will have plenty of choices. Premium hunting ammunition will generally run you between $55 and $85 a box. It is the ultimate marriage of ultralight mobility and long-range, heavy-hitting precision. Number 3. The .25 Creedmoor. Sliding into the number 3 spot is a Wildcat project that successfully went mainstream. Enter the .25 Creedmoor. This cartridge is absolutely taking the predator hunting and precision rifle communities by storm, and it is doing it for one specific reason: raw, unrelenting velocity. The concept was brilliant in its simplicity. Shooters took the wildly popular .65 Creedmoor brass, which is incredibly abundant, and they simply necked it down to accept a quarter-bore .257 caliber projectile. The end result is an absolute laser beam of a cartridge. We are talking about driving 85 to 110 grain projectiles at blistering speeds. Velocities routinely shatter the 3,200 feet per second barrier. When you are sitting on a ridgeline calling in wary coyotes or bobcats, that incredibly flat flight path is a game changer. It essentially removes the need to dial your elevation turrets at standard hunting distances. You put the reticle on the target, press the trigger, and let physics do the work. Furthermore, the recoil impulse is so light that it is practically negligible. That means you can stay perfectly locked into your optic, spot your own impacts, and deliver lightning-fast follow-up shots if the situation dictates. Right now, this remains a bit of a niche chambering for the true ballistics aficionado. You will primarily see it chambered in custom-machined bolt actions or high-end AR-10 platforms. But when you load it up with high-performance projectiles like the Berger VLD series, the terminal performance on medium-sized game is nothing short of spectacular. Because large-scale factory production is still catching up, you will likely be relying on custom ammunition loaders or pressing your own brass. Be prepared to invest between $60 and $95 for a 20-round box. If raw speed and surgical precision are your ultimate goals, the .25 Creedmoor is exactly what you have been searching for. Number 2. The .360 Buckhammer. Taking the number 2 position, we are looking at a brilliant modern update to an absolute American classic. This is the .360 Buckhammer. It is a thoroughly modern straight-wall cartridge purpose-built to breathe new life into the traditional lever-action rifle. Over the past few years, we have seen a massive legislative shift. Numerous states have implemented strict regulations banning traditional bottleneck cartridges for whitetail deer hunting. Remington saw that regulatory hurdle and engineered a masterpiece of a solution. This round was specifically optimized to feed flawlessly through iconic side-loading gate actions. We are talking about the classic Henrys and the legendary Marlin 336 platforms that quite literally fed this nation. The best way to visualize the .360 Buckhammer is to imagine the venerable 3030 Winchester after a serious cycle of performance-enhancing supplements. It launches a heavy, flat-nosed projectile, typically tipping the scales between 180 and 200 grains, and it hits with absolute authority well past the 200-yard marker. It completely eclipses the ballistic arcs and energy delivery of those old cowboy loads we grew up with. If your hunting grounds consist of dense, tangled hardwoods or claustrophobic scrub brush, this is the exact prescription you need. It delivers that deeply satisfying, tactile experience of running a lever gun, but it does so with advanced projectiles engineered to aggressively expand and anchor a massive whitetail buck directly in his tracks. The reloading community has fully embraced it, simply because straight-wall brass is incredibly forgiving and easy to process. Factory loads are steadily filling the retail shelves, generally sitting right in that comfortable $35 to $50 price range. It has genuinely earned its reputation in the field. The .360 Buckhammer proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that classic blued steel and walnut can still dominate in an era of polymer and aluminum. Number 1. The .400 Legend. Finally, claiming the undisputed number 1 spot on our list, we have the absolute heavyweight champion of the straight wall compliance era. I am talking about the formidable 400 Legend. This cartridge was forged for one very specific, unyielding purpose: to completely dominate the woods in states that enforce restrictive, straight-wall-only hunting regulations. The engineers at Winchester analyzed the massive commercial success of their 350 Legend, and they realized that American hunters wanted a heavier hitter. The 400 Legend answers that call by throwing a massive, true 40-caliber slug downrange. We are looking at serious payload weights ranging from 190 all the way up to 215 grains. When that projectile leaves the muzzle, it is generating well over 2,200 foot-pounds of raw kinetic energy. That is the kind of devastating stopping power that you can physically feel resonate in your chest. It retains lethal energy levels far beyond the 200-yard line, which, realistically, covers 99% of the ethical shots taken in the thick timber of the Midwest. The versatility is fantastic. You can drop this into a rugged, reliable bolt-action setup, or you can build a dedicated, hard-hitting AR-15 upper receiver for fast-cycling semi-automatic capability. It punches an absolutely massive wound channel, making it the ultimate medicine for giant corn-fed whitetails, thick-shielded feral hogs, and heavy black bears. What truly surprises most shooters, however, is the recoil management. Despite the massive payload, the felt recoil is remarkably smooth, coming in significantly lighter than a standard 12-gauge slug. It is the perfect, uncompromising solution for the law-abiding hunter who refuses to be undergunned in the woods. Ammunition from Winchester and other major manufacturers is readily available. You can expect to pay anywhere from $35 to $55 a box. If you demand big-bore terminal ballistics combined with modern engineering efficiency, the 400 Legend is the new undisputed gold standard. All right, there's the full breakdown, folks. 5 incredibly capable cartridges designed to handle everything from suppressed tactical applications in the dead of night to dropping heavy game across a windy canyon. Whether you are aggressively spot and stalking deep in public territory or sitting patiently in a Midwest ground blind, one of these specialized tools is going to perfectly match your mission parameters. Now, I want to turn it over to you. Drop down into the comments section right now and let me know. Which one of these modern calibers are you trusting to fill your tag this season? I read through all your feedback, and I love seeing what you guys are running in the field. If you found this technical breakdown helpful and it gave you some solid data to work with, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, comment your thoughts, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We have a ton of no-nonsense professional gear and ballistics reviews coming down the pipeline. Until next time, stay situationally aware, keep training hard, shoot straight, and I will see you out on the range.